What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Austin Nerd Show. Today we're looking at the NECA Gargoyles action figures of Brooklyn and Broadway. So we have two more gargoyle characters here, which are really cool. So let's look at Brooklyn first. Looks pretty cool with that Brooklyn bridge there in the background. So it looks pretty awesome with our picture there. And on the side, we have a picture of the figure and then the figure with like its accessories and different stuff it's got going on there. And if we open up the front flap, we have the picture as well. And then our figure itself. And again, you can see all the accessories that's going to come with it. So looks pretty cool to have Brooklyn there. And then we also, of course, have Broadway, and just like Brooklyn, we have Broadway in the background, so it looks like a Macbeth play there on the Broadway, so that looks pretty cool. And again, on the side, picture of the character and picture of him on the back with his different accessories he'll be coming with. And then we have the picture on the side and the actual figure itself, again, with all his accessories. He comes with cool accent stuff, so that looks pretty cool as well. So again, two more gargoyles to add to our gargoyles team, which is almost complete now, so pretty cool to have these two to add with it. So let me get them out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. So let's start off with Brooklyn, which is the red gargoyle with a beak-like mouth and snow white long hair, and is many times considered the hothead of the group. But overall looks good, you know, just look like it looks like Brooklyn. It's hard to like describe stuff, but of course has that gargoyle design with the all like veiny and ripped skin and stuff because they seem to be pretty fit. But it's got the beak-like mouth, as it said, and of course the eyes in there, so really good eye designs with the little tiny nose. Has the horns on top of his head and then the flappy ears there on the side. As I mentioned, the long snow white hair, which looks really nice here on this figure, and it's got like a pearlescent paint to it and stuff, so it shines and stuff, so that looks really nice. And then, like I said, the all like reddish color, I guess is what you say. It's more of a brown, but kind of like a red tint to it, but then has like the loincloth or whatever design there with the belt around the waist, and then the blue skirting material there wrapped around it with the tail in the back, and then the hands go down, so they have the four fingers with the sharp claws on them, and then going down the legs, we have the three toes in the front, and then the extra little claw piece there in the back, and they walk up on their tiptoes kind of like that. So overall, it looks really cool, and, you know, carries out the design of the character and stuff. And it's like all the other gargoyles where it's hard to like really point out too much stuff because I don't personally know a lot about gargoyles. I watched it as a kid, mostly played the Sega video game of it, and then we've been watching it more recently, but it's not too far into enough to really know all about the characters. But they still looks really cool, and like I said, looks just like the character design, so it's hard to really say if it's bad or good, but I think it looks pretty good for a figure myself. But we can do the movements of, so its head can move, so with the hair it's gonna be hard, but it can twist around in there and look up just where the hair will hit it, and then down a little as well. So again, not the easiest to move the head in there. And then with this one, the mouth does open, so we can open the like beak mouth and stuff back and forth there. Then we get the shoulders that can come up to 90 there and should be able to rotate around. But I think with the design, the way this comes out here, I think it's kind of hard to get it to rotate around in there, and just the tightness of and stuff there, we can kind of get it rotated all the way around. Then we get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends pretty much up on itself, though not all the way, but pretty close to it. And the wrist can twist around and flex back and forth for this hand. Then we go to the ab crunches, so you can see the ab crunch there, so crunch back and forth and twist around all the way. Yeah, it can get twist all the way around there. And then it also has a twist at the waist, hard to get a hold in here, but can twist around at the waist as well. And then we get the hips that can come up to 90, it looks like, and out to the side, not too far from doing the splits. There is a bit of a thigh twist, so it can twist around in there. And then we get the single knee joint that bends back that far, at least not far from kicking its butt with that design, but it can bend back in there, and then yeah, has a rotation around as well. With the foot that can rock back and forth, and of course twist side to side, with the toe joint on the end, which of these are usually pretty difficult, but it can rock back and forth there, so you can get them to stand flat, like footed like that, or up on their toes like they do, so you can have it up like that. And of course, finally, we have the tail on the back, so the tail is a hinge, so it can rock back and forth, and then it can twist around, and it's got the bendy wire inside, so you can do the holes in there, and you kind of bend it wherever you want, or however you need to get it to stand up. So once you get the feet positioned pretty good and have that tail to like help keep it from falling backwards and stuff, it stands up pretty good. So no major issues with the gargoyles with that, like I said, if you just get them in the right positions. But for accessories, we get an additional head. So we have this head where they're kind of like angry and stuff, so we have the mouth permanently open, showing the tongue and teeth and stuff in there, and then we have the eyes where they turn all white and they kind of glow and stuff, so we have it all angry, ready to fight there. So we can switch this out if we want. So there's the much more angry head there on Brooklyn with the mouth open, and then he comes with some additional hands, so we get grip hands, so a wider grip and a small grip there, as well as a set of fists to go along with it. So we have the fist, the grip hands, and then the open like claw hands they already have. We also get a set of sunglasses, so he wears sunglasses. Sometimes I feel it'd be weird to put it on this version, but definitely on this version here, we can get the sunglasses to go onto the head, and with that you can get him to sit on it just like that. And there's kind of like indentions here on the side of the head by the hair and stuff, so it sits on it. So there we got the sunglasses on Brooklyn. For Brooklyn's weapon, we get a lance, so we have this long spear tipped lance there, which looks pretty cool. So we can switch the hand out for the grip and put this in it. So there Brooklyn can have have that lance now, like I said, use it as a weapon. And then he also comes with a piece of paper or pages like ripped out of a book or whatever. Don't really know how it's supposed to go, but yeah, just a bundle of pages there like you could put into his hand like he's reading and stuff. So pretty cool. It comes with that. Don't really know what to use it for or what it's specifically from, but it's still cool that it's included. And of course with the gargoyles, the final thing is included is their wings. So we get his wings, which look a little bit weird, different from all the other gargoyles design stuff, but pretty cool. So let's try putting these in his back. So there's Brooklyn with his wings, and they were pretty hard to get on, like easy to get in, but with the hair, it's in the way. So I had to pop the head off it and then get it placed back on once I got the wings in, but the wings went in easily. And they have, of course, like the ratchet design, so they can, you know, fold up and do whatever you want. So if you want to have more up in the air, whatever, like flying and stuff like that, you can, but I always like to have them just like straight onto the side. They definitely improved the wings much. They're still sort of built the same and like same sort of plastic, and I feel like moving the joints in the back feel like it's going to break pretty easily, but it seems like they overall built them and designed them a little bit better than they used to. But of course now with the wings I'm having issues getting them to stand up perfectly, but with some adjusting and getting the tail in the right place, he will stand up there. So it looks pretty cool. It's always hard with the gargoyle wings just how big they are and how much room they take up. Of course you want to have them included because that's like a big thing with the gargoyles, is that they have the wings to like fly around and stuff, but just for displaying they take up so much room, so that's why we always pop the wings off when we do the displays. But he still looks really cool and awesome to have him added to the group now. And then we also have Broadway, which is a large blue screen gargoyle that has a positive attitude and a fondness for food. And overall, he looks pretty cool. So it's another big one, kind of like we had Hudson, so like a fatter gargoyle and stuff. And has a pretty cool looking design. So I love like the bluish green color he's got all through him. And then we got his face there. So he's like a big underbite. So his lower jaw is like kind of hanging out with the teeth there. Of course, his eyes there look pretty nice. Got the spikes on his head and the flap-like ears and stuff there. So overall, face looks cool. Of course, similar body design to all the others, just he's much fatter. So he's got the belly on him there and stuff. And then he's got the bluish color like loincloth with a belt there around the waist holding it up. Claw hands there with the 4 fingers all the way down to the toes there again with the 3 toes in the front and the spike there in the back, and tail there hanging off the back as well. So going to be pretty similar to the other gargoyles, just in a different color this time. So movement's going to be pretty much the same, but his head can twist all the way around. It can look down that far and up that far, so good movement range in there. Shoulders can come up, of course with the NECAs the shoulders are always hard to move, but you can get it at least up that high and should be able to rotate it all the way around. We get a bicep twist and the double elbow joint that bends up that far, so pretty good there. Wrist twist around and flex back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, so crunch right under his chest there, so crunch back and forth again with the neck. It's kind of stuck, but you can get it to rock back and forth and twist around. Then we get the hips that can come up a little and out to the side there, again not far from doing so. It's probably a little bit of a thigh twist up in there, and the single knee joint that bends up that far and has some rotation in it. Then we get the foot that can flex back and forth, twist side to side with the toe joint on the end again, just like the others, can flex back and forth there and has a little twist as well. Oh, and of course the tail on the back, so can rock back and forth a little and twist around. So he works just like all the other gargoyles, so once again just a different design. But for accessories we get additional hands, so we have some fist hands as well as some more grip hands, so a small grip and a wide grip. And then we also get additional heads, so we have again the angry head or the fighting head, so there you can see more teeth. Doesn't really seem like they're painted that well though, the teeth are a little messed up, but still has the all white eyes and stuff. So let's switch the head out. So there's the angry head on him, and then he comes with a lot of accessories. So first we'll do his weapon. So he comes with this axe and mace combo, so you can take and stick them together into one stick, or you could just give him each one. But let's maybe put them together and see if I can get it into his hand. So there I got him Broadway's hands, and that looks pretty cool. The big wide weapon with the axe and mace on each end, so that looks pretty cool and a crazy weapon to use. And then he comes with additional accessories for him. So since it said he liked food, we get a bag of popcorn. So nice popcorn, looks really good, that design there, they did a good job with that. We also get a turkey leg or whatever it is, some sort of animal leg that he's bitten into and eaten and stuff, so we get that again to go with him. And then I don't know what this is for, but we get a piece of moss, it says, so we get this just like a piece of green moss, I guess. So again, don't really know what that's from, but still cool they included it. And then finally we of course have his wings, which he has like the normal gargoyle like wings. I love the blue color of his skin, like that teal color, and then the green in the wings looks really cool. So let's put his wings on. So there's Broadway's wings on there, and again looks really cool. I love that green design on there, it just makes it stand out a little bit more for the wings, but again still real huge wingspan and takes up a lot of room, but it does look really cool though, so that's all I can really say about that. So he looks really cool holding his stick there, so we can probably have like dual wield or whatever, and ready to fight with angry face and wings and stuff. So he just looks really cool overall for Broadway. And as usual, it's hard to fit them both in here with their wings, but there we've got Brooklyn and Broadway. Both of them look really cool. Love the designs. Awesome to get 2 more of the characters. Now the only member we're missing is Lexington, and with that we can bring in the other members, and I may have to pop the wings off of these just so I can fit them all in. And there we have our entire Manhattan clan so far, with of course the Goliath, and just seeing them all tier together, how big they are in comparison. So Goliath's definitely the biggest, followed by Hudson, and then Brooklyn and Broadway aren't too far apart. Just Broadway's a little bit further back here, and maybe his foot's a little bit more crouched down, but they're relatively the same heights. And then of course we have Bronx as well. So like I said, we just need Lexington now to throw in here, and then of course we have other characters like Demona and everything like that. But just out of the main Manhattan clan, we almost have all of them now, which is really cool and very awesome to add Broadway and Brooklyn into the group. But let me know what you thought of those 2 characters down in the comments, and if you enjoyed this review, let me know with a thumbs up. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.